Hello and welcome to today's LOL Esports Roundup, where we cover a bit of news from the last 24 hours, and then also recap the LPL Finals, LEC Group Stage, and preview tomorrow's LEC matches. First things first, though, is that little bit of news. Nongshim has signed Quad. Quad, formerly known as Solka, has been with Gen G the last year, just kind of on the sidelines, and has returned to competitive play. And he has been signed by Nongshim. So these numbers are from 2021 summer. He put up a 2.1 KDA, 88 CS per minute, 61.9 KP. So he would get fed in lane, but he did die a bit. 365 gold per minute, 381 damage per minute. That is extremely low. Keep in mind, this was 2 years ago, a very different meta than right now. But I think in any meta, when your mid laner is putting up under 400 damage per minute, that is a concern. Only one solo kill in 21 games. On average, was down over 300 gold, a couple farm, and 140 XP. So as far as laning phase went, he was 300 gold is something. It's not massive, but it's a little bit. But didn't get many solo, not very aggressive. Let's put it that way. One solo kill in 21 games, played 12 champions, and under 400 damage per minute. Very passive. He is, I'm assuming, going to compete with Fiesta. Fiesta's numbers as a rookie, 1.8 KDA, 8.5 CS per minute, 60.3 KP. He and the rest of Nongshim struggled, pretty much all split long. So to blame him would be probably inaccurate, but at the same time, I'm not shocked by a move. I don't know. You have a bunch of young players. I don't think Quad's going to get them any better in the win-loss column. 370 gold per minute, 511 damage per minute. A lot more aggressive. 9 solo kills in 38 games. On average, down 200 gold, 3 farm, 165 XP. So, once again, slightly behind at 15 minutes, but not super behind. I mean, it's not something very sizable. And a little more aggressive. 9 solo kills, over 100 more damage per minute. Definitely tries to get more things done. So, I mean, Nongshim, I don't think this solves your issues, but sitting around doing nothing may have been a worse decision. Also played 14 champions in 38 games, and if you watch my channel long enough, I do like wide champion pools. I think that is a plus. But if your numbers are not great with a wide champion pool, we need to look at that champion pool and find out what the foundational champions are and perfect them, and then move on to starting to branch off. Recap. I'm 308 and 147 on the year, or 309. I don't remember if I was 306 or 305 yesterday. I went 3-0 today. I had JDG winning 3-2. They ended up winning 3-1. Knight was the MVP, in my opinion. His Ari being disgusting. Annie game as well. The Lysandra, sus, but otherwise solid gameplay. Ruler, 19-4-26, 32% of damage. Kanavi, 17-7 and 27, had the best KDA. Yagao, 8, 19, and 19, 28% of damage for BLG, as he and Elk almost dealt the same amount of damage, but Yagao had the edge, so he gets the notoriety on the board. Not shocked. I did, like I said, I picked JDG to win. I thought it'd go 5, goes 4. Pretty lopsided. Ruler kind of set the tone early in this one, doing very well on the Jinx, and honestly was much better than Elk in this series, which isn't a shock. But I had said yesterday, Ruler has been sitting kind of on the back burner for JDG for what I felt like most of the split. I thought Knight took a lot of the spotlight, and with this series, Ruler is returning back to that form. I thought his Jinx was very, very good. Support-wise, I thought Missing did his job, and on. I will say there were moments where BLG's bot lane did get a kill in the 2v2, which is a good thing to see for them, but otherwise, Yagao really didn't get much done. Obviously dying a shit ton. And then Bin, I said this yesterday, 369 called out Bin. Well, Bin called out 369 for losing to him in lane, but Bin was like, 369 was like, this is a team game. If you want, you should probably play something else. You play a single player game if you think of it that way. And that happened today. In game 4, at 29 minutes, JDG have a 6k gold lead, and Bin has 0 KP, no depth, but 0 KP, and is 15-7 in JDG's favor in kills. I understand Bin is on Fiora, that is more of a split push champion. I know he's over in side lane taking down turrets, but he was only up 14 CS. So, looking at that and those stats, and you just say to yourself, so 369 is doing things on the Gragas. He's involving himself. And he's keeping up in farm. Whereas Bin took a couple turrets, sure, which is gold. And then over the next 5 minutes, Bin did open up like a 30-40 CS lead. But the point was, it's already a 6K gold lead. And in my opinion, I understand teams could come back from 6K. I mean, it happens all the time, but it's not the like majority, right? If you're in a 6K situation, you're probably going to win the game. So you don't want to end up in a hole like that, right? So you kind of, and I understand you don't know like what the gold deficit is in game, but you can look at items and kind of guesstimate. I think Bin kind of just was doing a solo mission in Game 4, and BLG lost because of it. Because for a little while in Game 4, BLG were in a good spot after winning Game 3, and it was unfortunate. And as a big Bin proponent, I do think this is the part of his game that does hold him back. In lane, I think he's the best laner in the world, and that's why I put him as my best top in the world. But if he is not able to showcase that he can even involve himself, then that's not good. So that's a big reason why I think BLG lost. I mean, they have that problem was always a possibility, and it kind of reared its head today. And 369 prophesized it. Yeah, so that's kind of the deal there. LEC, Mad Lions, and Fnatic. I had Mad winning 2-1. They would do so. Carzzy set the record in Game 3 for kills in an LEC game with 19 on Zeri, Sivir, Jinx, Aphelios. Honestly, I don't remember. I just know he had 19 kills. Somebody will say what he was on. I know I can click on Game of Legends and look at it, but I'm not going to do that and pause this video. Either way, he set the record. In Game 3, there were 65 kills. Yes, 65 kills. As Mad Lions threw, Fnatic threw, Mad Lions win. I mean, it was a whole throw fest the whole entire series. I don't know what we really want to expect out of the loser bracket games, but this is what you get. So Carzzy, 28, 10, and 13, 36% of damage was MVP. He had 2 quadras in Game 3. One at the Nexus, saving the base and winning. Elyoya, 10, 7, 35. I thought he was fantastic on the Vi in Game 3. And then Humanoid, 12, 13, 22 for 31% of damage for Fnatic, leading the way in that regard. Oscarinin left a lot to be desired as well. I thought Jaycee got the better of him. For sure, Oscar in the first 2 games, despite winning Game 2, I want to say it was like 1, 9, and 12 or something, just absolutely atrocious. And Game 3 wasn't much better. But as far as the jungle was concerned, I thought it went back and forth. I thought Elyoya did some really good things, hence being on the board, and also the Vi. But Razork, I thought, also had moments where he stood out on the Wukong, taking some objectives and key moments. Mid lane, Niski looked really good on the Gragas once more. Definitely a champion that fits him. He is a facilitator. A lot of people don't like him because he's limited. I don't think he's going to carry a game, but he is a facilitator and damn good at it too, in my opinion. So with that in mind, he was able to help Jaycee a lot, I felt like, and help the bot lane. As far as bot lane's concerned, Intfest. Hilly inting his face off. He picked Rel in 2 games. The first time, much better than the second time. Game 3, it felt like he was playing for Fnatic. And, I mean, they played great at the Nexus to save the game after all dying around the Baron Pit and Reckless having his Penta stolen by Humanoid. But that's kind of the deal there, right? A lot of people upset with Reckless's decisions towards the Nexus when they were trying to end the game. And it's like, well, let Reckless put them in the position to be there. So you giveth and you taketh away, and that's just kind of the deal there. So, I mean, I'm not expecting Mad Lions to be great. I just thought Mad Lions were going to win this. Fnatic have not given me a lot to be impressed about, and Mad Lions had all week to prepare, so I figured that they had this one. G2 and SK. G2 win 2-0. I thought it would be a 2-0. Yike was MVP. The Belveth in Game 2 was disgusting. Glorified scrims. Excuse me. Game 2 had a Belveth and then a Nyla Senna bot lane for G2. I've been saying this all along, and some people commented on the power rankings upset that G2 were 5th, not realizing that their power rankings were literally only teams that were allowed to go to MSI, and they're citing like, why are these teams above OMG? And it's like, so you're upset that like G2, C9 are above OMG, but not like Rainbow 7 or DFM. Like, are we like brain dead or something? I don't understand that. But nevertheless, G2 have been scrimming for the last month and a half here, ever since they won Winter, and I really hope Senna does go back in the meta. I am somebody that sees Senna as something that can fix, well, not fix, but improve the bot lane meta in terms of variety. A lot of things can be paired with Senna, and things will change, right? So we won't have the Zeri face roll meta anymore. Yike 11, 3, 13. I don't have the damage numbers up here because I don't have the damage stats yet. Mickey X 5-2, 22 was at in support. Obviously, Mickey X did great. And Exakick 664 for SK. I thought Irrelevant really got gapped by Broken Blade as well. Game 1, BB was the MVP in Game 1. Yike in Game 2, so I gave it to Yike because it was on the Belveth. But Broken Blade's Kennen was absolutely fantastic in Game 1. Caps also doing some nice things between the two games. I thought Game 2 a lot better than Game 1. As far as Hans was concerned, I think like the Nyla did have its moments that really stood out, but I was just so enthralled with Mickey's play that, I mean, I guess I kind of overlooked Hans. SK, disappointing after Winter. I thought that they would be a lot more competitive. I thought they'd be about where BDS is at their best, and they weren't. They were on struggle street. So, you know, got to build off of this going into summer for them. A lot of bright future in that bot lane, and in the Irrelevant's a young player. I'm not a big Irrelevant proponent. But he's young, so he can get better. So, I mean, you got smoke showed by a team scrimming. Sneak peek for tomorrow. Mad Lion 16th, Astralis 12th. Mad 3-6, Astralis 6-3. Their matchup in Spring Split, Mad Lions would win. Elyoya went 7-1-11, 23% of damage. 1-1-3 in the loss, went 2-5-2 with 14%. This is important. If Mad Lions win this forces Vitality's hand. Because that would put Mad Lions in a position where they've knocked Vitality out pretty much of MSI contention unless Vitality wins. Keep this all in mind. If G2 wins Spring, it does go down to championship points, and then the tiebreaker is whoever finished better in Spring. But Mad finishing second in Winter is going to give them a really good edge going into the champion point situation. So this is very important for Mad and Astralis as well. Astralis obviously want to get more points. They did okay in Winter and want to improve in Spring. And 6-3, they can compete for the finals as well. They've upset some teams. So that's the deal. And then Koi and G2. Koi 4-5, G2 6-3. Last time they played, Koi won 2-1 last weekend. Sisgenda was MVP, going 11-9-22, 32% of damage. Broken Blade across from him went 11-9-10 with 20% of damage. Like I said, G2 are glorified scrimming, and that is in part why Koi won. So I don't know what version of G2 we get tomorrow. Whether we get the scrimming version or the real version. And with that in mind, when you get the scrimming version, do you get the scrimming version of things that they're throwing at the wall that work, or things that they throw at the wall that don't work, right? So there's definitely two paths to the whole scrimming situation for G2 right now. And obviously Koi would like to win, similar to Mad. Koi had a good split in Winter and would love to have a chance to go to MSI. So, yeah, so that's the deal for this video. Thank you for watching. If you missed it earlier today, it did go out during this, my Golden Guardians MSI 2023 preview video. So if you missed that, click on it. Otherwise, like this video, subscribe to the channel. Join the Discord. We talk about the games and all that jazz there. You can make predictions on who you think's going to win games, just like I have my predictions up here. Player pool is coming to a close for winter spring split. I will probably have the MSI player pool start up next week because we have we'll know who's in. Wow, the VCS and LEC still we got to wait on. Starting to work on all that, and like I said, predictions. So if you want to do that, you can go there. Follow me on Twitter for the YouTube links, and become a supporter. That'd be cool. Thanks for watching.